so for our simplifying rational expressions, we want to first factor our numerator and our denominator. Once we factor them. All right, and then we are going to cancel out factors that are in the numerator and the denominator. Note, you can only factor things that are multiplied. You cannot cancel things added together. And lastly, we want to simplify the expression and leave the expression in factored form. So this unit, it starts out pretty simple for this lesson with this problem here, but as we continue on, we'll get deeper and deeper into factoring, which we've done for 3 units now. If you still struggle with factoring, then you need to do something during senior time or come see me for something else. All right, number 1. What's 2 times 3?
6.
So we have 6 divided by 2. My answer is going to be what?
Yeah, 3.
My answer is 3. All right, we also can do 2 times 3 divided by 2. If I cancel out from top to bottom, what cancels out?
The 2's.
Your 2's are gone. What am I left over with?
3.
This is what we are doing today. If they are being multiplied, then we can cancel them out from top to bottom and look to see what is left over. Let's look at number 2. Can I cancel anything out here?
Yeah.
No, why can't I cancel anything out?
It's not multiplied.
They gave us a plus sign here, which tells me that these things are combined together. What's 2 plus 3? And then my 2's on the bottom. This is my answer. You cannot cross out your 2's because of the addition sign. These 2 things are basically grouped together. Are you guys cold? Are you fine? Let's look at number 3. I want you guys to cross out things from top to bottom that you think you can cross out. What did you guys cross out?
X plus 3? Oh, wait, no. X
So what?
minus 5.
X minus 5, X minus 5. Anything else can cross out? No. Can I simplify anything? Let's look at this 2 and this 3, 2 and 6, sorry.
Right, we can do 2 times X. 2 times.
No, we never want to distribute. That's making it longer. We're trying to get factors. In your calculator, type in 2 divided by 6, then math enter.
1/2.
2 divided by 6, you got 1/2?
You?
What did?
You sure get 1 over 3.
What's a 3?
Alright, so your final answer, what do I have left on top? Yeah, just your X minus 3. And on bottom, I have 3 times X plus 3 times X plus 4. This is my final answer. Yep. Any question number 3? Alright, number 4. Let's look from left to right. I have 5 over 15. That can be simplified to be what?
Um,
5 over 15.
3.
1 over 3. Okay. So those are gone. And then I have x cubed divided by x. Who remembers how to do this from unit 5?
Oh, 3 minus 1.
Good. When I have the same x that is being divided, my bases are being divided, I subtract my exponents. So, Jeffrey just told us 3 minus 1 is x squared. Will that go on the top or the bottom? It will be on the top. Good.
It's on top because it's not negative.
No, it's on top because my 3 is larger, and we put it wherever the larger exponent is. So we're done with that. Lastly, we have y divided by y cubed. 3 minus 1 is what? Will it go on the top or on the bottom? It goes on the bottom. So this is my answer. If you forget how to do that and you have time to draw it, that's fine. You could put 3 x's on top divided by 1x. Because when you cancel out, you're left with x2, x squared on the top. And then if you had y divided by 3y's, that will cancel out, and I'm left with y squared on the bottom. Questions there? Okay? Or we start to pick up. Okay? Those were the easy problems. Do we see here why I cannot cancel out my 20 and my 15? Are they being multiplied or added to something? Added. So this is basically, they're basically binded and grouped together. Okay? So let's do the first one on top. We have 4x plus 20. Okay? It's a binomial, so I can either pick a GCF, I can dose it, or I can soak it. Which one do I need for this? GCF. What's my GCF? What goes into 4 and 20?
Full.
2 does, but you need the highest.
Full.
So 4 would be my GCF.
And then
Eric, if you did 2, that will work, but then you have to do the same process over again. So 4, and then if I divide, what's 4x divided by 4? X, and 20 divided by 4? 5. So on top, you should have 4 times x plus 5. Alright, then I have 3x plus 15. What's my GCF? 3. I pull my GCF out and then I divide. 3x divided by 3 is x. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So that goes on the bottom.
You can't do that one more close.
Huh?
You can't do that one more closer.
Which one?
Like, isn't it 4 over x?
Yep. So what did you do from here? Can I cancel out? So you can cancel out x plus 5, right? So your final answer, you should get 4 over 3. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's look at number 6. This top here is 3x squared plus 9x. So if I have 3x squared plus 9x, what's my GCF? Not only x, 3x. The GCF is 3x. Okay, so My GCF I pull out to the side, and when I divide, I'm left with x plus 3. So let's put that on top. 3x, and then x plus 3. On the bottom, I have x squared minus 2x minus 15. Do we see here that I have to factor this problem? There is no GCF. So when I factor this, I need to get it into my t-chart. I need, hold on, two numbers that multiply to give me negative 15 and adds to give me negative 2.
3, 5.
3 and 5 would work. And your 5 would get your negative.
Oh, negative 3, 5.
No, like 2, 2.
Negative, or positive 3 minus 5 gives me negative 2. And that's what I need. So my factors here are x plus 3 and x minus 5. So let's plug that in down here. X plus 3 and x minus 5. What can I cancel out? X plus 3 can go. So I'm left with 3x on top divided by x minus 5. Any questions on number 6? No. All right, let's look at, so we're not going to do all of these. I'll actually make these next time. Let's skip number 7. Let's do 8 together, and let's do 10 together. And I want you guys to do 7 and 9. So skip 7, let's do 8. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so we have x squared minus 36. Do we see here that this is a dose problem? I have a perfect square, which is 36. I have a minus sign, and I have an exponent that is even. In order to do dose, we need double parentheses. This is how we factor a dose problem. Okay? If I split my x squared up, I have an x in both parentheses. What's the square root of 36? 6. So a 6 goes into each of them. And plus or minus, good. It does not matter which one you put first, okay? All that is saying is that I know that it's x plus 6 and then x minus 6, and I'll get x squared minus 36. So that goes on top. Okay, we just factored out x squared minus 36. Next I have 6 minus x. If I want to rewrite that, how do I rewrite it? Everyone says x minus 6, but be careful. Look at the sign in front of the x and the 6. The x is what? What sign is in front of it?
Minus 6.
Thank you. What sign is in front of the 6? The positive 6. These things are the same exact thing, it's just it's written the correct way. Kind of the correct way. This is still not what I want, but it's better than 6 minus x. That's step 1. Step 2 is that we don't like negative exponents. Sorry. We don't like negative letters. Okay, so the fact that my x is negative, I need to change it. What is my GCF? How do I get rid of that negative? What kind of one?
Negative 1.
I want to divide by negative 1. That's my GCF. So, yep, if I pull my GCF out, I'm left with x minus 6. Okay, so I'm just dividing by -1, so my signs just flip. So on the bottom, I have -1 times x minus 6. So far, so good? I know we're digging back into unit 2. Oh, I told you guys factoring never goes away. If I want to cancel out, what can I cancel out here?
X minus 6.
We can get rid of my x minus 6. So I am left with x plus 6 on top and -1 on the bottom. If you don't want to put the top in parentheses, you don't have to. If it's just one factor by itself, it's your choice. Okay? If you have multiple ones, well then yeah, you have to use your parentheses. You guys got number 8? Alright, let's do number 10. Remember when you do this one by yourself, and you rewrite this so you can factor it, we're going to have a GCF of what? To get rid of this negative.
-1.
Negative. Okay, that's how you start that. Alright, number 10. Number 10 I have x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4x. What is my GCF here for the numerator? Nope. What do they all have in common? They all have an x in common. So let's bring that x out, and then let's divide. I'm left with x squared plus 2x plus 4. What do I do with this guy here? I try to factor it, right? So let's, sorry. If I have a T-chart and I need two numbers that multiply to give me 4 and add to give me 2, my only options are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. Will either of those add up to give me 2? No, right? That tells me that this can't be factored, okay? What I just highlighted here, I did my factor ladder or factor chart, it doesn't work, so I can't go any further, so I'm just gonna leave it. That's just my answer. I can't force it. Okay? Now, let's look at the second part. Let's see if I can get this over. Okay, so then I have x to the 4th minus 8x. What's my GCF here? X, right? So if I pull my GCF out, I'm left with x cubed minus 8. What do I do with my dear friend x cubed minus 8? I can either GCF, I can dose, or I can soap.
GCF.
I already did, I don't have GCF here. X cubed and 8, there's no GCF.
So,
You have to soap, okay? Remember, dose is for when it's a square, right? Dose 2 squared. Cubed is for soap. So, we need one normal parentheses and one larger one. You guys remember this? Alright, what is the cube root? My first parentheses are just my cube roots. What's the cube root of x cubed? It's x. What's the cube root of 8? No, you did the square root. You hit math. Number 3, I think, is cube root. 4. And then hit number 8.
2.
2. So my cube root is 2. I do my signs later. All right, in my second parentheses, everything relies on the first. So in this first number here, I square my first in my first parentheses. What's x squared? Just x squared. My middle number, I multiply them together. What's x times 2? 2x. And then my last number, I square the last number. So what's 2 squared? 4. Good. Last is our signs. SOAP is same, opposite, always positive. I'm starting with a negative, so what's same?
Minus negative.
Minus,
Plus.
positive, positive. So I'm going to plug that in. My answer here, and don't forget to bring down your GCF. My answer is x times x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 4. All right, what should I cancel out? That whole big one, right? Can I cancel anything else out? Yep, your x can go. They're standing alone by themselves. So I am left with what on top? Something has to be a placeholder on top.
1.
Just a 1. And on bottom I have x minus 2. I know it's a lot of work just for that little answer, but that is the easiest way I could teach it to you. All right, I want you guys to do, what did I say, 7 and 9? All right, do 7 and 9. On number 7, let me give you a hint to how to get started. On number 7, you have x squared minus 2x minus 8. You're going to have to do your factor ladder. I keep saying ladder. Your factor table. You need two numbers that multiply to give you what? Negative 8 and adds to give you negative 2. That's how you get started. You get your factors, you plug it in. Then you have x squared minus 4. This is a dose problem, just like we had in number 8. Double parentheses, opposite signs. You fill in the rest. This one is dose. Okay? On number 9, I already gave you a hint. We don't like negative letters. So you can take the GCF out of negative 1, and then you factor. And your denominator for number 9, I think you have a GCF, and then you factor. All right, you guys have 10 minutes. I'll count this as your classwork points for today, and then we'll go over it.